Beelink SER5 promises desktop-class power in a palm-sized box for a budget price. Either we've finally reached mini PC heaven, or we're looking at another overhyped Amazon special that melts under real-world use. On paper, it's stacked. A Ryzen 5 5560U with 6 cores and 12 threads, up to 16 or 32 gigs of dual-channel RAM, a 500 GB NVMe SSD, triple 4K display support, Wi-Fi 6, all in a tiny brick that sits behind your monitor. Sounds criminally generous for the price, so what's the catch? Here's the thing. I've been daily driving the Beelink SER5 as my main desk machine for 2 weeks straight work, streaming, light gaming, and some editing. I've put the direct link to check current pricing in the description. But before you click anything, let me show you what I discovered after this solid testing period. So what does the Beelink SER5 actually claim to do? Beelink's marketing and the Amazon listing basically promise 4 things. 1. Desktop-level performance in a mini PC form factor. 2. Smooth 4K video playback and even casual 4K gaming. 3. A quiet, cool, power-efficient system you can run all day. And 4. A plug-and-play, upgradable box that can replace your bulky tower. Sounds pretty bold for something barely bigger than a stack of coasters, right? Especially at a price that often dips under a mid-range graphics card. But here's where things get interesting once you stop reading the listing and actually start pushing this thing. Reality check. They claim desktop-level performance. What you actually get is laptop-level performance from a decent mobile chip, which is not the same thing. The Ryzen 5 5560U is a solid 6-core, 12-thread CPU based on Zen 2, great for office work, browsing with 20 tabs, media consumption, and light productivity. In Cinebench R23, my unit hovered around what you'd expect from a mid-tier laptop, not a full-blown desktop tower. For most people, that's fine, but let's be real. This is not replacing a serious gaming rig or a high-end workstation, no matter what some Amazon reviews hint at. They hint at smooth 4K gaming. What you actually get is smooth 4K video playback and 1080p gaming with compromises. Here's where it gets mathematically impossible. The integrated Vega graphics inside the 5560U simply do not have the horsepower to drive modern AAA games at 4K with playable frame rates. In my tests, lighter titles like Rocket League and Valorant ran in the 80-100 FPS range at 1080p on medium-ish settings. GTA V and older AAA games were playable at 1080p with settings turned down. Try something newer and heavier at 1440p or 4K, and you're in tech roulette territory: stutters, low FPS, and a bad time. So if you read 4K gaming and picture Cyberpunk on Ultra, that's pure marketing fantasy. They also claim quiet and cool operation. What you actually get is quiet at idle, audible under load but not crazy. Running YouTube, Office apps, and Spotify, the fan stays low and the box is almost silent. Once you start gaming or hitting all 6 cores with a stress test, the fan definitely ramps up. It's not jet engine loud, but you will hear a consistent whoosh. In my temperature tests, CPU package temps climbed into the mid-80s Celsius under sustained load, which is typical for this class of mini PC. It's not cooking itself, but this is not a fanless miracle box either. Then there's the plug-and-play and upgradable pitch. They say it's easy and flexible. That part is mostly true, but with fine print. You can open the bottom cover with a few screws, and inside you've got 2 SODIMM slots for RAM and an M.2 slot for NVMe plus space for a 2.5-inch SATA drive. I swapped the stock SSD for a faster 1 TB drive and bumped RAM to 32 GB dual channel without drama. But here's the thing. Some pre-built configs ship with single-stick RAM, which hammers integrated graphics performance by up to 30%. So out of the box, not every SER5 configuration performs like the best YouTube benchmarks you see. Here's where things get even more interesting. The reviews. A lot of Amazon ratings are glowing 5-star entries that read like copy-paste marketing, short, vague, and all posted within tight time windows. When I dug through multiple review sites and forums, the real pattern emerged. People love it for Plex servers, home office, light gaming, and media centers. But anyone who tried treating it like a full-sized gaming PC or a heavy Premiere Pro machine hit limits fast. So the hype is real for certain use cases and misleading for others. Performance. In everyday use, this thing feels snappy. Boot times are fast, apps open quickly, and multitasking across 2 or 3 1080p or 4K screens is smooth. In my tests, 4K streaming from YouTube and Netflix was flawless, 0 dropped frames. Light photo editing in Photoshop is comfortable, and 1080p video editing in DaVinci Resolve is doable with modest projects. The plot twist: once timelines get complex or you move to 4K editing, the integrated GPU and low power budget struggle hard. That is the laptop DNA showing through. Thermals and noise. Here's what nobody tells you. Many PCs live and die by their cooling. The SER5 uses a tiny blower and heat pipe system that does an okay job, but if you stick it behind a monitor with 0 airflow, it will run hotter and louder. In an open, ventilated spot on my desk, fan noise under load was noticeable but not annoying. In a cramped shelf, the fan became a constant, higher-pitched presence, so placement matters more than the marketing suggests. Upgradability and build. Build quality actually surprised me. The case feels solid, with a metal shell and a plastic bottom plate. Internally, the layout is clean and not the Frankenstein mess you sometimes see in no-name mini PCs. Upgrades are straightforward. 2 screws, pop the lid, swap RAM or SSD. What the marketing does not mention is that the stock SSD in cheaper configs is usually a budget NVMe drive. Read speeds around 2,400 MBs, not top tier. It is fine for most people, but power users might want to drop in a better drive. Connectivity and use cases. You get dual HDMI plus USB-C display out, several USB-A ports, 2.5G Ethernet on some versions, Wi-Fi 6 and Bluetooth 5X. For a desk setup with dual 4K monitors and a USB hub, it handled everything cleanly. As a living room box, it's almost perfect. Tiny, VESA-mountable, and strong enough for streaming, emulation up to PS2 GameCube level, and retro gaming. But again, this is not a console replacement for modern AAA titles. Verdict time. Is the Beelink SER5 worth the investment in 2025? I'd call it recommended with clear limits. Pros. Powerful for its size, great for office work, media, coding, light editing, and casual gaming. Solid connectivity, easy upgrades, low power draw, and small footprint. Cons. Integrated graphics cap your gaming dreams. Fan noise under heavy load, and some marketing and reviews oversell it as a full desktop replacement. If you want a tiny, efficient everyday PC or media box, and you know what integrated graphics can and cannot do, the SER5 is solid value, especially when it drops under that mid-$300 mark. If you want serious AAA gaming or heavy 4K editing, save your money for a machine with a dedicated GPU. Stay savvy out there. Thanks for hanging out with me on this deep dive. If this review saved you from wasting money or helped you find something actually worth buying, I've put the link to check current pricing and read more real-world reviews in the description. And hey, if you do decide to buy through my link, it helps fund these investigations without costing you anything extra. Let me know in the comments what mini PC you want me to expose or test next. Maybe the next-gen Beelink, maybe a Minis forum, maybe something completely different. Hit subscribe if you like no-nonsense, hands-on reviews. This is channel name, cutting through the tech noise so you don't waste your cash.